Welcome back to another episode of Templars Talks, and this is number 33. 3-3.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
We've been going for quite a while.
Indeed. And I think we probably keep it going for a little bit longer because lots is going on. The festival summer is in front of us. And yeah, lots to discuss, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Where should we start? I think both of us have been to shows. One, at least for me. I mean, yeah.
I think also one for me, I think. Yeah. I think mine was first.
Yeah, maybe.
Yours was yesterday, so...
I'm still tired.
So, a week ago, I went to see, it was like a Finnish evening in the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could have been there.
Yeah, me too. I missed you. We had Stamina Before the Dawn and Swallow the Sun in our venue in Tilburg. And if I have to explain the evening in one sentence, I would say it was way too short. It's not always that I say this. Sometimes it's just good, you know. But for me, this evening was too short. I don't know, but it all went by in like a snap. But anyway, we started off at Stamina, and I think they didn't do many European shows.
No, I was already surprised that they came to the Netherlands because, I think they did it before.
In the past, I think around 10 years ago, they did some support things, but I think that was mainly Germany. I think it was the first time in the Netherlands for them. Okay. I'm not entirely sure, but
I saw them on the bill for something in Amsterdam at some point, but weren't they with Children of Bottom at some point?
Maybe.
In any case,
they haven't been here quite a lot. Maybe it was the first time, maybe not. But they're not very known, I think. But even though that was the case, there was still a few people in the audience who did know them. There was even, at one point in the beginning, there was a guy standing next to me, and I have to say this because there were like a couple of, I think, from the South America. And they're doing like, they did like a couple of days of the tour or like half of the tour. And I asked, he knew like all the words in Finnish, of course. And he said, yeah, I'm just a big fan. I just flew over to see them because they're not coming to me, so I'm going to them. And that was so funny to see someone, you know, I always amazed by these people. But yeah, if you like a band that's not coming to you, you have to go there yourself. So that one was standing next to me, screaming his lungs out, cheering. But Stamina, if you don't know them, they are like a trash band with a little bit of punk influences, maybe progressive trash. And what you can say about their show is very energetic. And they have this weird tempo changes in the music. Maybe that's also something people don't like, because if you have like a nice rhythm, they change it up to something weird and then change it back. But that's the thing I like about them. They even threw in a little bit of Finnish humor, which works actually quite well. And I think the audience who was there, it was not that crowded when Stamina played. but I think the audience enjoyed it very well. I was standing near the front of house at the end of the show, and I heard like a few people talking like, "Oh my god, this is actually a good support act."
Yeah, that sometimes is not.
And another one somewhere, I might like to see them again. So I think they did a really good job. If this was, I think for most people, it was an introduction into Stamina. So yeah, they played a few songs from very old albums, which I recognized. And then the most songs from newer stuff that I didn't recognize.
You have to listen more to Stamina now.
Apparently, yes. So yeah, I enjoyed it quite well. Yeah. Also brings me back to some memories from long time ago. And then it was, how do you say, the Remembrance Day in the Netherlands for those who fell in the war. So at 8 o'clock we have to be silent for 2 minutes, and it was like, with everybody there, it was like so silent. Everyone is standing still. It was kind of, almost like chills on your arm. And then after the two songs, one guys in the audience started to sing our national anthem. But
what?
Then people, yeah. But then people started talking, but he kept singing. It was
nice.
Yeah. And then Before the Dawn came, also a Finnish band, as we had 3 Finnish bands. I had never seen them before, and I think they had a break for around, I don't know, a couple of years.
Yeah, Tuomas
many
decided
years?
at some point to quit all his bands and just focus on Wolfheart
Now he's
at that
back
point. Now all of them are back, basically. Yeah. And touring almost at the same time.
To make it easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tuomas, you know his last name.
Saukonen, yeah.
That one. You might have known him from Wolfheart and from other projects.
Yeah.
But he's also in this band Before the Dawn. I think their style is a little bit, it's melodic and dark.
Yep.
Still, just, I don't know. Probably the thing you think about when you talk about melodic death, pretty much. So it was, we had this high energy from Stamina, then we had the 2 minutes of silence, where most people stood still and whatever, and then Before the Dawn came, and I think it was a nice, I don't know, their music was a nice, they created a nice atmosphere into a darker mood.
Yeah, that's what they're very good at.
Yeah, it was, they really lured us in, I think.
I think it's funny because I've seen them so many times play in Baruch. I've seen them in Amersfoort in something similar as Baruch sized, and now they're really sizing it up. And I see them going to the bigger stages, and I'm so sad that I couldn't be here this day. I really wanted to, but yeah, sometimes life says no.
I know.
Yeah, and then I'm happy that at least you went to see them now, even if it's for the first time.
Well, I'm searching on the Templars website right now.
I think they played at least 6 times or something in Baruch, and I've seen all of them.
But maybe I did see them then. Probably.
Maybe because they did play also, I think, with Swallow the Sun before. They played with Omnium Gatherum, Insomnium.
Oh, they're not mentioned in any review.
What? That's bullshit.
Live? No, there's only CDs coming up.
No, that doesn't seem possible. I've been writing a lot about them. Oh, maybe the search. Yeah, I know. I think I need to improve some of that.
So maybe I did see them,
That's,
but then
this is my. I have to fix something on the website.
Because for
it's
people
only searching in the CDs at the moment, I think.
But for people listening, sometimes I forget what I've seen. So many bands. I worked in a venue for 10 years. Around this time, probably as well. I've seen like so many bands in a week that sometimes I can't remember when or where. And then I always call Tempelores.com my second brain. I just fill in the name and then normally the results will pop up. And then I see, oh my God, I've been to this show. I wrote a review. I took photos. How nice.
I know. I still have to improve the landing page for search queries. But that has just never had my priority the last couple of weeks.
So I liked it, and actually the one of the songs they actually played it as first, My Darkness. It's hauntingly beautiful. It's I could sing along, so I must have known it.
Yeah, it's old.
So I knew it. So probably maybe I have seen them. And they also played, of course, their latest single, As Above, So Below. And I also quite love that one. It's the single from their upcoming album, somewhere this year. So yeah, check them out if you like to.
Yeah.
Also, Stamina, check them out because, I like them a lot. And then, of course, Swallow the Sun. I think most people came to see this band because suddenly the venue was like so crowded. There was a balcony, but the balcony was closed. And I think when Swallow the Sun was playing, they could have actually opened the balcony because it was so tight and packed that I hardly could move along through the crowd. And there's no photo pit, so but yeah, I might have stepped on some toes, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, what to say about Swallow the Sun? I think they're like, these kind of legends when you talk about Finnish doom.
Yeah, definitely.
And melodic death. They combine it really well, I think. And what I also like about Swallow the Sun is the atmosphere they build. They are like masters in it. I don't know, if you wanna dive into melodic death, I think this band is one of the greatest. They have these beautiful melodies, melancholic feelings. I love it. So their show, I loved it too. It's hard to not love it, I think. Yeah, I like Nico as well.
I like
the vocalist.
Yeah. I like their oldest albums the best, though.
Newer
albums.
The best. I know you didn't like the latest album, but I think in overall, they mixed it up, of course, and it fitted quite well. Of course, they played the maybe you can say the better songs from the new album. That fit quite well. They left Swallow as the last song. And I absolutely think this is one of their masterpieces. And the audience also went kind of, I don't know. It was definitely a climax, but it could have been a little bit more halfway in the set. I think they could have prolonged it for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes it needs to come emotion.
Yes, but sometimes bands need to build it up until the last song and then it. But I think Swallow the Sun is one of those bands that can do it earlier on and then keep it at that level. Because they are masters in building this atmosphere. But anyway, I love the show. And I hope people that went there had a good time too. I think so, but never know. And I can't wait to see them again.
Yeah.
And it was way too short.
There's one thing for sure, and that's that they will cross our paths again. For me, probably at Samtuska, because they happen to be always there. And I remember that one year that they played 3 times. insane.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
No, I think I saw one of them and I thought, okay, one show is okay. I don't need to see it 3 times. There were, of course, different sets, and I think one of them was in a small press kind of area hall where, like, 20 people fit in or something. Well, a little more, but yeah, you get the point. Very small, way too many people who want to see it. Yeah.
But they also have a tiny special place in my heart. So I studied in New Vascula when they probably all live there. Not that I've seen any one of them. Kind of funny that I saw them a couple, like 2 months later, they played in Bibelo in my town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was a great evening, and I'm curious about your evening.
Yeah, my evening.
Last
wow,
night.
That was last night indeed, and it was.
But there were no Finns this time around.
Well, let me first explain a little about this happening. I was the night before at in an event of one of our crew members in Hamburg, and I was thinking, okay, they start, and I could totally drive there, you know, from that place, from Hamburg to Haarlem, where the show was. It's something like 480 kilometers or so. That should take you about roughly 5 hours to get there. I left at 11. The doors were open at 6. And I arrived at the venue, or at least in Haarlem, at 5:30 to go to the garage where there's only one of them in the direct area.
Oh my god.
And I see the signs that it's closed. And I'm like, yeah, great. I know that parking isn't really a thing in this area furthermore.
Oh god.
Yeah, they try to send you far away from the venue, and I was just thinking, hell no, that I'm going to do that. Not only that I don't feel like walking this far. I mean, even from the central railway station, it's a steady 15 minutes walk if you walk fast. So, I'm not really up for that after driving 7 hours in traffic and crap. Thanks, Patronaat, for informing us in advance that your only parking garage is closed. That was very kind of you, not. So, I wasn't the only one who had this problem. But I decided to just park in one of the side streets where I found a spot and just pay up the fee, because I was like, I am not gonna go to the show and walk in the darkness with my camera through the whole town to find my car back in a faraway garage.
But nowadays, sometimes the parking garage are asking even higher prices than parking on the street. I don't know what's happening, but last time I paid 27 euros for parking alone in the evening.
Yeah, me too. And that the parking, you have to stop paying at 11. After that, it was free. So that was even
better.
Made it even worse, so to say. But in the end, I think it was good. I found a place. It was maybe 10-minute walk or so. Just the hassle of that. So I arrived at least in a venue, but everything went smoothly.
A little bit grumpy.
Yeah, no, that was not too bad. I was just happy to arrive. I was on time. The bands didn't start playing yet. Everything at the venue went smoothly. Got in quite fast. Walked in the hall, saw a couple of people I knew, some colleagues of us. Then I quickly went in my phone to see if any friends would be coming, and I noticed some other people would be there. So I spent a couple minutes talking to those. And then the first band came along. And last year we also talked about the Dark Tranquillity Moonspell tour. and they had the same support with them, and that was Hiraes. Yeah. And for those who have listened to that podcast episode, they might remember that we weren't quite fond of this formation, especially because the vocals were at that concert really, really bad. And we could not figure out completely whether she was doing it that bad, or was it simply that she couldn't hear herself, because that was what we were thinking.
We were.
And I think today was a lot better vocal-wise, especially in the girls. I think only in the end we heard a bit more of the clean parts, and then I realized, clean parts are maybe not her specialty. So a wise decision to have the focus more on the rest of the songs that feature less of that. So that gave a lot better output, so to say. The band came out much better in that way. But also, I think because she the singer toned down her energy on the stage a little bit. I mean, it's still wild and going on, but a bit more controlled. So it seems like she has more energy to put into her vocals also, and I think that benefits the outcome a lot. So I'm so happy that I can be a little bit more positive, and that I don't have to talk about somebody fucking up the vocals for the second time. Like we had to do that last year with a certain black metal band from Finland, if I remember. Familia. I'm happy to say that this way was much better, and I enjoyed it much more. As a band, I think, the audience responded quite well to it, quite tame. The whole evening, people were quite tame. For the songs, I think this band, they could certainly grow a little bit. For me, there's not one song that jumps out that says, oh, this is their song or something. It could have been a song from anyone that they were playing. Quite interchangeable music, I'd say. But it was brought well, and the performance was entertaining. So, I think they did okay this time. Very good.
Oh, nice.
That they improved. Yeah, Moonspell. Of course, I like Moonspell best from the three of the night. I think that's most my thing. But they had a good set. Maybe here and there they took a little bit more of the older materials. I don't know. Of course, a lot of the Extinct album came back. Pretty good evening, good energy, but I don't think I've seen Moonspell doing bad ever, so I'm not even shocked. And I've seen quite a bunch of them during the years. What I liked about them is also how they did the lights. I don't know. I can't remember if it was very much different from the Eindhoven show that we saw, but
same guy.
I don't know.
Doing the lights.
Sure, but of course, different venue, different options.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I kind of noticed also how Fernando, the singer, is really professional with performances, and it's funny if you watch him. He knows very well what is going on around him, and in front of him. He noticed every photographer. He knows where to stand, but he doesn't pose for it in a very obvious way. Yeah. But he certainly noticed where you are standing and how the light is. He knows what's going on. He needs a split second, and if you are at the right place combined with the lights. Yeah. Then he's going for it, Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But you need to.
I understand. Yeah.
There's a certain amount of dynamics that you have to keep in mind to do all that while singing your songs, and also not forget about your audience. That's a skill that not that many performers actually have. So yeah, that brought me great joy to see how such a professional is handling it in that way. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my Moonspell story. I can go on about the music, but I mean, we've heard it before. We heard it before. Moonspell doesn't disappoint. And,
no.
Yeah, if you've seen the previous set, it was quite alike to that. Of course, nice. Because it's the same tour.
Yeah.
And Dark Tranquillity as a headliner. Well, I liked it. They were very chatty. We're talking quite a bit. I think even more than
he's always
last time. Yeah, but a bit more even than last
even
time.
Even more?
Yeah. He was in a jolly mood, talking about songs, and he's like, yeah, we pull out some old ones, and the ones that we played, we made that song and we wanted to play it live, but it was too technical for us. Everybody's laughing because it's Dark Tranquillity, like, yeah. So everyone was laughing with that. Yeah, and then they were like, yeah, now we played some of them, especially now in the tour, and I was like, yeah. Good. They also announced that they're probably gonna be back in 26, so next year.
Nice.
I don't mind seeing them some more. I think also they were already weren't they also already announced for Tivoli in later this year?
No, I don't think so.
I think they were for Tivoli Vredenburg with Soon. Yeah.
Ultima Ratio Fest?
I think that they are.
No.
Yes, they are. 29th September.
Dark Tranquillity, Soon, Equilibrium, Eoton. Well, we will be there, I think. But I might go to...
No, not me.
Antwerp.
Not me. I probably have something else that day.
Well, it's on a Monday. It's on a Monday.
It's on a Monday, yeah.
I think the day before or the day after is in Luxembourg.
Yeah, I probably have...
On the Saturday, I might be in Leeuwarden for Into the Void.
Yeah, I have to host some musicians, probably. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Obviously not going to share all of that right now.
No.
But...
Just dropping a tiny little thing.
I have other things to do during that weekend, and I am on Monday. I'm out of business.
Aha.
So yeah,
Aha.
but anyway, I've seen them on this tour twice, so that's okay. I mean, because obviously Dark Tranquillity also doesn't really do bad shows. I liked that they had quite a bunch of songs of the latest album, because I really liked that latest album. And for
Someone
me, it was
made me
kind
listen to it.
Yeah, and like, for me, it wasn't really clear looking at the audience whether the audience was more there for the older songs or for the newer album. Because
that's nice.
Sometimes you really know that people come seeing to hear those old classic songs that they were hits, and that's why they keep going to the shows, and the new songs are just there and people are responding mildly to it. But sometimes you also have that there's a whole audience that loves that hit album and comes for that, and the old songs are just there to fill it up, just the way other way around.
They don't even know those older.
Yeah,
songs.
True. But for here, I couldn't really pinpoint what was the case. I think that a lot of people that were there were kind of following the whole career of the band quite a long time already.
Yeah, I think they were also quite dedicated fans.
Yeah, I think so. And I must say, quite a tame audience. Not even a lot of cheering or so. I mean, of course, they get an applause, but just a normal applause, not even above their heads or something. Just, okay,
strange.
You done it. You could have been in a theater or something. But
okay.
yeah, maybe that has
strange.
to do. Maybe that has to do that their audience is a bit older at the moment.
More our age.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
We're not the youngest anymore.
It is what it is.
I mean, when I talk about Swallow the Sun in Be Below, it's like, I don't know, 20 years ago. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Getting old. Yeah. But I still clap my hands.
Yeah, I did too. In any case, it was a good show. I think people.
So it was a good evening.
Yeah, I think they played almost 20 songs or so pretty long sets. Also,
nice.
So yeah,
worth
the money.
Definitely. So.
That was it for today. I only have one show.
Yeah, me too. And I won't be having any new, I think.
I think we can also already do a little bit of an announcement for the summer festivals already. Because we will go Into the Grave.
What's a surprise? What a surprise!
Is anyone surprised of the listeners? Since the existence of the festival, I have not missed a single one edition, so I don't think anyone is surprised. But
I think I missed a few.
Yeah.
Around the Corona time.
No, but you weren't at the first
and
edition.
Not the first. No. But I've seen quite a lot as well.
Yeah, quite a lot of them at least. So yeah, but this year I'm happy because there's a couple of bands that I like in there, and there's always something that I like, but there's headliners, and I'm not usually that much of a headliner person.
I think this bill is maybe one of the first bills that we totally have quite a different view,
opinion on,
preference on whatever is playing. Yeah.
But let's go a little bit on what all of that is about.
So we start with Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I think the big names there is like, I cannot go any way around it. The headliner, Sabotage! And they were... I was like earlier speaking to some of my co-workers or this week, or was it also in the Dark Tranquillity concert? I was like, Sabotage was kind of somewhat one of those bands that I still wanted to photograph was on my list. But they weren't. I don't have such a list. And that's also because I never really thought Sabotage would be around again to photograph. So it wasn't really an option in my head anymore, so... Huh?
And
but now they're there.
And
I'm going to see it. Yeah. Come on, they're classics. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Well, you don't care. I know.
Not as much as you do.
I remember a certain Tuska where I was like, you have to come and see Emperor. They're classics. That was like the first concert. They were back after death. They raised from their grave and they played that show in Tuska, and you were like there, but it's raining. I'm gonna stay here in the backstage. But I could see. You have to come as Emperor.
I could see over the gates. I could see the stage, and there was a lot of yellow lights.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, there was a lot of beautiful yellow lights, and I could hear them. I could see them. They were like teeny tiny, but I could still see them.
Yeah.
And I was just busy having conversations. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's missing some good old headliner like that. It's raised from the death. But you're not gonna miss out of Sabotage. Absolutely
no, of course
not.
I do want to see them, but I'm not as happy as you are.
Ah.
But I am happy to see Orange Goblin.
Oh yeah, that's for me.
Because they're ending their career. They are... Well, I've seen them before somewhere, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
Into the Grave.
No, at, I think, Waterfest?
Oh, possible.
Water or something. Anyway, they played there. I don't think I've seen them at Into the Grave. But
Really?
they're ending their career.
Yeah.
So this is one of the last times. And my photography, even if I've seen them before, my photography skills have improved quite a bit. Because I checked out my stamina photos from 2008 and 9, and I was like, oh my god.
But yeah,
they were
that's
not.
Good. you
so
you
I
learn
would like
through
to
the years,
them.
yeah?
Yeah, we learn. And then Propane is always fun. They play in
Propane is
stage.
fun, but for me they're not that.
I think...
I like Kettle Decapitation also. Just
yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan or something, but they're always nice to have around for a little bit, and I always watch it, and I'm like, nice, and good. Yeah. And 3 Inches of Blood, but they also gonna play around the corner for me, so I can check if I don't like them. I can just skip it, which I probably won't, but. It's nice to see them back. I haven't seen them for ages. So yeah.
And we have but we've seen this band so many times, Exodus.
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah. I don't care too much. It's okay, but
yeah. Same for me.
Yeah. And then there's a couple of the bands that hopefully gonna surprise us at the Reaper stage. The Bone Ripper.
I think I've seen Bone Ripper though, but...
Yeah, I think so, but that still means that they need to surprise me, because...
yeah. If you've seen them doesn't mean they're good.
And then there's Chromax. I've seen them before and I didn't like them.
I have never heard of them.
But I know they have quite a lot of following, so I think that there will be quite a lot of people who are starting a massive mosh pit there, so that might be interesting to watch at least. The mosh pits.
Yeah, but that's just
that's the Friday.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, unlucky
it's more
Friday.
Of a startup. It's more of a startup. It starts later the day, so on the Saturday we have a fuller bill. We start with Field. Then we have Elven King. I saw them at Pagan Fest.
Yeah.
They're quite nice. At least nice to photograph, I think.
Yeah, true. And the up and coming in Insanity Alerts. I mean, they're
I don't like them. I've seen them last year. 3 times.
They're not my favorite per se, but I can see that they grow substantially. So
good. Yeah. I have to say they are like Hiraes on steroids.
Yeah, sort of.
With trash music. For me, it's really that, and I think they have the same sort of way to address political things. As well.
Yeah. In a way. And one of my other favorites one I'm looking forward to is Rotting Christ. I mean, last week we were talking about that live show that I did you actually watch it?
Yeah. But I couldn't see Rotting Christ, and I couldn't see Satyricon. I could only see
Oh, that's weird. Well,
yeah, there were a lot of comments in the there were a lot of messages in the comments that they were a little bit angry that they bought a ticket to see it and now they can only see the headliner.
Oh, that's really strange. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I mean, I've seen all of 3 of them.
So I'm looking
Christ did
forward.
pretty well. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting because they play pretty tight. That guitar is excellent. He's gonna be seeing a lot of me in front of him during his show. I mean, the way he plays, it's like fascinating me.
I know. We will keep an eye on you.
Yeah, I know you do. And then there
but
will
I like to see Slomosa, but that's more like the not your type of thing.
No, but I know you will.
And one thing we will both enjoy the most this day, probably. Yeah.
F8 show.
I'm so looking forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be a party. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a party.
Yeah. I mean, what else do we have? I mean, Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. Not my thing usually, but sure, fun.
Windrose is one of those bands that they fit in our category of
Theater Friday, except that Theater Friday is not on Friday. No, but all joking around, of course. I know that they have a very dedicated audience, and I expect to see some inflatable shovels and what are they called? Pickaxes and whatever.
Pickaxes, yeah. But I believe they're attracting. Well, how do you say that? They're attracting a lot of people these days, and they're a lot of dwarves, and I think they've become. I don't know. I think their style has become a little bit more metal as well than.
Yeah, they're very TikTok famous also. They do a lot of these TikTok thingies, videos. Because every once in a while they pop up in my feed and I'm like, oh no, again. They do a lot of them, like so much. Yeah. So they really have a specific kind of audience for that. I do think that this kind of bands are bringing a lot of atmosphere to the festival. Yeah. So that's something that's cool.
The thing is, if the sun is shining, they will be there early. They will have a good mood. They will drink. They will have those inflatables. They're not my kind of people, probably, but they bring a lot of fun, indeed. Yes, and a lot of atmosphere to the festival. You need them, you know.
Yeah, you need that, and I think that's probably from a couple of years ago. My Windrose might surprise us a little bit.
Yes,
if I can stand it long enough. That's what I said.
I think they. Yeah. At least 3 songs, maybe.
Yeah, I will try.
I will keep you in the photo bit, okay?
Yeah. You have to tie... I'll be tied with my leg to your leg so that I can only go away a couple of meters.
Oh my god, I see a challenge.
No, you cannot run away.
I see a challenge. Oh god.
Yeah. But then, you know that's also gonna happen with Sabotage, you know? But then the other way around.
Yeah, but that's blocking your experience, so I don't know if you would like that.
I can just
But
unleash
then there
it
is the headliner.
Tie it to the real, headliner. Wasp!
Woohoo!
I'm a wild child! Come and love me! Good old 80s.
So people that are listening to us, we already have a lot of fun, you know. If we talk about this, we're gonna have a blast this year. We always have.
For me, Wasp is always a bit of a guilty pleasure, you know. I mean, I know, it's Wasp, you know. Hey, I know, but it's fun. I'm a wild child.
People should have seen this on YouTube with images with the video.
Yeah, maybe at some point we need to do this video. I'm sure that's gonna help us. We also need to have a picture of us in the podcast at some point. apparently people click on it more often then. So
okay.
Next time we are at the same
We have
event,
to dress up.
Yeah, when we're going to Into the Grave, we need to find somebody to take us a podcast picture.
Yeah.
All right, then the Sunday fun day.
Bloody Sunday.
That's
At least
the day
we start
where
late.
that's the day where like Rose should have played because it's I mean
Glory Hammer.
Foyer Swans, Glory Hammer, and Powerwolf.
But Foyer Swans is they're
fun. Costumes.
They're more they're costumed, they're fun, but they're not. I don't put them in the same category as Windrose and Glory Hammer, but
in any case, they're there, so it will be a
they
funny
do fit the
day
theater
for me.
bill. Yeah.
But as a balance, we have Vader. So that's good. Vader is always fun.
Yeah, Bewitcher is kind of fun too.
Yeah, and then we have on the Reaper stage, Dynasty is back. We liked them last time, so.
They're fun.
Yeah, and Bewitcher is also kind of interesting.
Yeah, I liked them last year.
And what about Brett? I mean, what the hell about Brett?
What the hell? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know all about, some girl with a lollipop. Yeah, Brett.
Oh.
I think it's one of those internet dance or something, maybe.
A girl with a lollipop. Now I have to see it.
Yeah, and
Brett Band.
Yeah, Brett. There was what was that band?
She's kicking. Oh no.
Was that one of those pop DJ kind of things who had an album out that was super famous, especially in the UK, and that was called Brett, and then all these fans were calling themselves Brett, and Brett became a thing. Like, I don't know, sort of a rebel or something. So now there's a band called Brett.
You see, I very much follow every TikTok and Instagram hype. I have not heard about this at all.
No, the thing is, I listen to a podcast who tells me all this shit.
No, secretly, you're on all these.
No, I have never listened to a song of Brett before, to be honest. But I think
her eyes pop
Charlie,
out.
Yeah, I think I listened to that podcast of our great colleagues of 3 for 12. And they talked about the UK. What was their name? Is that the Charlie XCS or something? And he had the album called Brett. And then that Brett became a thing amongst girls, mainly teener and a bit older.
Cool. Yeah.
They dress in a certain style and they kind of are a bit like rebel or something, if I understood that correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. And now there's a band called Brett, so I wonder if there's a connection.
Yeah.
If anyone knows, leave it in the comments. I'm curious, because that could be like super fun, or people are gonna be like, hell no.
Well, we had the band Hole back in the days.
What?
In the grunge era, we had like Nirvana, and then you had the wife of Kurt Cobain. She had Hole.
Oh, Hole, yeah.
Hole,
of course.
And that was
I photographed her. I photographed Hole.
I know.
Insane.
I've seen those photos. I think, yeah.
It's years ago, but it's still insane that I got shit happening there.
Like, that was our like.
Yeah. Brett. she would, I think, be a really good Brett, if I understand the whole concept correctly.
Yeah.
Hey, and then there's the Dutch Martyr, of course.
Yeah.
Not per se the biggest band on the bill, but I think it's really cool because these people are always in every audience of every fucking festival in the Netherlands. They're everywhere, and I think it's very cool for them that they can now play Into the Grave. That's.
But we saw seen them last year at Dynamo.
I think Yeah, they played in Dynamo also. But they were like from the beginning. Martyr, these guys were always there. I've seen them every time in the audience. So it's really cool for them, I think. So yeah.
Yes.
And then there's a couple more that we didn't mention, but yeah. People can get to know a little bit what we are excited about already.
Yes.
Tickets are still available.
Of course. I hope for lovely weather, because that brings up the party atmosphere vibe as well. I would like to see
be honest,
the fields in front of the stage full with people.
Absolutely. And I must say, I was checking the ticket prices. They didn't really go up much. So I think not at all, actually.
And this time it's even closer to the railway station.
Yeah.
I believe it's quite next to the railway station.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you can crawl back. If you have to travel back home with a train, you can crawl back to the train.
That means you can watch the entire set of Sabotage. You don't have to run off.
But I'm not taking a train. I'm sleeping somewhere.
Yeah, me too. But
somewhere. Not defined yet, but somewhere.
I still have to find where to park my car now.
Me too.
Yeah.
But we are looking forward to this, well, for me, first festival.
Yeah.
You have a festival before that, I think.
Am I?
Or are you not going to South of Heaven?
Oh, yeah, I don't know yet. They haven't really announced anything yet. So I'm... Also, I have some other things work-related that...
Nice.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I hope none of my... okay, well, let's just say it. My boss is not listening to this podcast anyway.
Secret listener.
Yeah. I might have something else in between there, and that might stop me from doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
So let's just pray for the best. But then, of course, we'll see what happens. But Into the Grave, I'm so looking forward to it. I was a bit sad that I had to miss Achterhoek's Metal Fest this year because I had this other event in Hamburg. But on the other side, choices have to be made sometimes, and you only live once, and you gotta value your friends. And
yes. Well, I had to make choices as well this year, a bit more than last year's. Can't do everything I like, and South of Heaven is the week before. It's a little bit more my style of music in the bands that I like, but I cannot miss Into the Grave. Into the Grave is like homecoming.
Yeah, it is.
So the choice was made fast, even though I would love to see In Flames again and Meshuggah.
Yeah.
But you can't have it all.
The two of us are gonna party at Into the Grave, that's for sure.
What? The two of us? Party. Yes, of course. Yeah. I need to party. I need to,
We have to learn our choreography of already. For pit dances.
Do we have wasp dances? Do I need to check out TikTok?
You don't? No. But that was already way before for TikTok. We have the LOVE, which you spell with your hands.
I think we danced with Wasp in Helsinki in 2009 or something. We had fun there, so we can repeat it,
Yeah.
Didn't they play in those?
I've seen them a couple times in Tuska. I've seen them in Effenaar, I think, a couple times. I've seen them in some place not too far from Eindhoven, some venue there. Gazillion times in the Netherlands. I've been seeing them in Tilburg, I think. In Evenaar, some more. A lot.
Yeah.
Yes, these guys are old and they keep getting older, and I don't care because
we're getting older too.
Shit. I don't care how crappy old his voice is, and whatever. It's Wasp. That's my guilty pleasure. So that's it. All right, we did also listen to an album. Let's not forget about the album.
Fun band.
Yeah,
they surprised me a little bit.
But I mean, you were really interested in having this band in here, so I'm really curious what you are thinking about it, because this is extreme metal. And
yes.
Well, that's always hit or miss. So
it's a hit.
It's a hit for you. Go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But I think I need to. It needs to. It needs to grow on me a little bit more, I think, to fully appreciate it, is what I can say. And it's not. I said it many times that sometimes an album needs way more listens than a couple of times.
Did we mention the album band?
No, not yet. And not yet. And it's not because. I think it's because of the complexity.
Yeah. What I personally thought...
and I think right now, I'm not quite sure if this album precedes their previous one.
No, I can understand that.
Because I just love the previous one.
Let's talk a little bit about the band so people know what we're talking about. And then I will share you my view.
Yes.
So we're talking about End Oceans, which is a Finnish formation that makes symphonic black metal and mixes it now a bit more with the industrial vibes. But I think that's not too obvious for people. It's that black metal, symphonic black. Yeah, but I think
It's even there in the first song.
You can hear it, but you have to listen to it. And I think a lot of people... No, but like a lot of people...
Do you think people cannot hear it?
If you listen to this for the first time, it kind of wants all over you.
Yeah. But
So we know what End Oceans is doing. But if you haven't heard the band before, you get the whole wave of sound over you.
Yeah.
So to say.
It's a lot of sound, yes. I do needed a little bit of silence after the album.
Yeah. And their album is called The Regeneration Initiatory. It's going to be out on May 23rd. So very soon via Seasons of Mist. Yeah. My opinion, I think what stood out to me most is that I wanted to break from the drums. Like, yeah. Elvira is looking at me like, what the fuck? Yeah, I like drummers.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, I like drummers, so that's quite a statement from somebody who really likes the drummers.
Yeah, you like to photograph the drummers.
Yeah, but like, for me it was like there's this whole wall of sound, and it feels like if they have a little bit more space, and then space, I mean, space is
a little bit of breathing room. A little bit of a breathing room.
Yeah, it's like if you have a little more. I don't say per se that it needs to be slower, but it keeps on going and going and going, and that's okay. I can really appreciate that from bands, but for here, it was for me at that point. I was like, okay, but I want to listen to what you're doing, and I can't hear it anymore.
That's why I needed the silence after this album.
Yeah.
But I think it was a kind of fun album because like I said, in the first song, Inertier, however you pronounce it, there's already the industrial vibe, and then everything comes, and it stays there. I do think there was, of course, the singer of the band is also in other bands, and I think in The Way of the Sulphur, I hear a little bit of Fintroll.
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah.
There's just this little harm. There's like the little melody.
Yeah.
More party, and that's giving you a little bit of breathing room from the Wall of Death.
Yeah,
I quite
think
like
for
that
me,
song.
For me, the beginning of the fifth song, Prophetical Mercury Implement. Yeah, there I was like, oh hey, this could be the song that makes me remember the album, you know. But then later on, it just jumps the same train as the rest. So
it jumps the same train.
But to be honest, now it sounds super negative, and I don't mean it that way.
No.
Because I do like their sound. I like the extreme metal in general as a genre, but also the way they fit in there. I like that. What they are doing is certainly throwing a lot of stuff in there. You hear a lot of different elements.
That's what I said. You need to listen to this album more. It needs to grow on you. So you will hear more than just the wall of sound. Because I think if you, I don't know, let it brew, let it, age.
Yeah, I can. For me,
a little. You will start to hear all these. Because I think their music is. There are so many layers in their music. In that wall of sound.
And I think
you start to.
I think that the industrial kind of vibe that they have in there is kind of deceiving you a little bit, as it being like super melodic in a way that you think like, oh, this is going to be like easy listening, even though it's extreme. Easy listening for extreme metal. I don't mean easy listening like background music. I mean easy listening for extreme
metal.
Sound. Yeah. This starts to make no sense for people. But hey. And then there's the rest of the band that just goes like, wow, let's go crazy. I want to be in here too. And you're like, yeah, but I liked that. And then it's gone. And it's, where did it go? Oh my gosh, so much feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what can we say furthermore? It was a fun album to listen to, I guess. It's not for the weak-hearted, if you haven't caught that already.
No, definitely not.
Quite a difference from the album we had last episode.
Oh, yeah.
So...
yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe in a little bit more in the future, we have to come back to this and see if I...
The question is this gonna end up in our year list? I don't think so. For me, no.
It's what I said. I don't think it will precede the As Below, So Above album. What was that the name?
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that album.
Yeah, that was also one of my favorites that when it came out, I think. As in Gardens.
But I still... Oh, yeah, that one. But I think there are still things to discover here. I have been listening not only once or twice to this album, so I have been listening more.
Wow.
You do walk really, really fast on this, though. But I think there's still much more to discover while listening to it, so I will definitely give it some more spins. But I'm not sure if I don't know. But
We'll have
if
to
you,
see. I'm
if you're
just
an
kind of
extreme
like,
metal listener, you have to check it out and form your own opinion. If you wanting to find out a little bit more about extreme metal or wall of sounds. According to Sabine, this is for the easy listening.
easy listening extreme metal.
Yes,
I could totally work at the marketing department of some sort of record label because I can make up genres just like that.
Yes, we found our new genre.
Yeah.
So yeah. But also, they didn't disappoint.
No.
It sounds a bit negative right now, but they didn't disappoint at all.
It's. I think it's a nice album, but it definitely you need to invest some time in it. I've listened to it quite a bit as I was spending a lot of time in my car. So, yeah. I'm curious. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just randomly, in one of our future episodes, gonna quiz you about this album, you know? So you cannot forget about it.
Cool.
Just like 2 or 3 episodes later, I'm like, so Elvira, what did you...
Perfectly
Follow-up time.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Quiz me.
All right. Let's see. What's next on our schedule? Anything that makes us happy? Because I didn't really have any news for this week.
No, me neither. Not anything that stood out to me. Things that make me happy.
Yeah. Into the grave!
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still
and
happy
friends. Friends seeing friends. And oh, yeah. I can imagine.
I'm still on my happy cloud.
Yay.
And Stamina was fun too to see again, so that was really nice. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Into the Grave, definitely. Yeah. We also need to meet someday still. I don't know if we can plan something before.
I don't think so.
Girls. Busy girls. Yeah. So yeah, I think just music made me happy. Live show made me happy. Maybe.
Otherwise, you just have to go on a little holiday in Doetinchem. Somewhere.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah.
But is there time?
No.
No.
I'll be kidnapped by my job for 2 full weeks for 24/7, so... June is hell for me. I won't even have time to celebrate my birthday. Yes, that's ridiculous, I know.
We always celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, usually at Tuska or some other festival.
Yeah, although I haven't been to Tuska in like trillion years.
Yeah. But still. Well, I don't want to celebrate at Tuska anymore, anyway. Because it's at a different day with different associations now, so that's not gonna happen so much. But
did we listen to anything other than And Oceans?
Yeah, And Oceans. I listened to. Oh gosh, what do I have in my car?
Well, shall I start for a change?
I have Cyclone 9 that I was listening to just out of my head because usually I write stuff down. I listened to some Dark Tranquillity, obviously, because I was needing that to get into the concert mood. And I love it in the car. And I've listened to some good old Physicists. And for those who know what kind of band that is, you'll be laughing your ass off now. Because they're very obscure underground Helsinki theater band. Trash style. Then I listened to Tribulation. Yeah. Some older classic death metal bands. Def Chain, I listen to in the car. I don't know. I probably forget a lot about it, but that's okay. That will come back for next week or so. Then I will keep a list again for what I've been listening to. And you? I was brutally interrupting you. Sorry.
No. That's okay. Well, I checked out the new Catatonia song. 2 of them are there. I've seen a lot of people talk about Sleep Token, but I have never listened to that band. Ever.
I try to ignore them. I've photographed them, but...
I don't know why, but I just never feel the need to listen to them. But I've listened to Pearl Jam, I've listened to Silverchair, I've listened to Alice in Chains, Nirvana. I had a little bit of a grungy need, so to say. And of course, I've listened to bands like all of them, Witches and Graveyard. I did listen to them.
Yeah.
But I've also listened to film music. Pirates of the Caribbean and
nice.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Cool.
The Rings of Power. I kind of like those sometimes.
Yeah.
They're nice music when you have to work on projects.
Mm-hmm.
They're just instrumental. Nice things.
All right. All right. Well, then let's see what I'm going to do in the upcoming 2 weeks. I don't even know yet. Trying to film a little bit for something project that I'm doing, but
yeah, I was hoping
maybe going to Willemijn Café.
What?
The Willemijn Café.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I was
yet.
hoping for Friday to go to Sonic Whip, but have not heard from them. Maybe I just need to go there myself to see some band play. Because the lineup is pretty nice. If you like that style of music, if you like more...
and I need to see because I think I don't think I have a lot of gigs on my list anymore.
I have Into the Grave, so...
Yeah, Into the Grave.
It's really sad.
Summer. Oh my god, that reminds me. Why is there no still Tuska after parties announced? How is that possible? Why do they have to do that last minute?
I had to think of a Tuska after party when the Finnish band Karon announced their reappearance. But then I also had to think of we've seen the Textures.
Oh yeah.
That was a fun evening as well.
Yeah.
I think it was one of this. Yeah.
I think Leverage is playing the day before Tuska, their album, but I think they're nowadays pretty boring.
Not sure.
That's all that is kind of announced. Oh yeah, there is one band, Rap Formation, that is announced, but that's not really an after party, but that's during the Tuska dates in Rocks. So, but it could also be that they do the same as last year and have them play early, and then after that another show. I don't know. I want something cool to go crazy and then be there out until 4 a.m. and then go to bed and
back at
and then go to the early morning shows that start at 2:00 in Tuska.
Yeah, but I remember from the old days, you were already walking around the docks at 7:00. So please.
True.
I would wake up at 9.
But I'm old
Where's
now.
Sabine? Where is Sabine? Where is Sabine? Yeah, I want to have breakfast.
I want to get breakfast. But I'm old now, so now I wake up at 9.
I wake up at... No. No, 9 usually. Yeah, that's my... 7. Before 7 is daily. And in my days off, I still wake up around 7, but then I like to, take it easy.
Yeah. Last week I woke up at 5 almost every day.
Why?
Summer. And my room, I don't know why, but that happens in summer. And my room is pitch black, so it doesn't have anything to do with the light.
I was going to say you need a mask, but...
Yeah, but no, I have these metal blinds that's completely blind everything, so that doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. So I think we're coming at the end of this podcasty thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the conclusion is
we can keep talking. This episode was all about the fact that we are not our younger selves anymore.
Yeah, and that we've seen so many Finnish bands on the road everywhere during the years.
Yes.
How much we look forward to into
birthdays are coming up. Because I'm going to celebrate my birthday at a festival day.
Yay. And yeah. That's it then for this week.
Yes.
And 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Next time?
I will maybe go to the Willemijn Cafe. I haven't seen
You have to.
Yeah, I need to have something.
Well, that's going to be a surprise for us. So, anyway, if you listen to us moaning about the fact that we get old, with a little bit of talk about different bands and Into the Grave Festival, and you still like us, please like and subscribe. And maybe leave a nice comment. And that leaves us to one thing only.
Yeah,
and that is...
And please put a thumbs up or something, because YouTube wasn't nice to us this week. They've been bullying us, and every other YouTuber, by the way. So we can definitely use a little support of our dedicated listeners.
Yes.
All right, time to say goodbye.
Yes. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.